You know, the idea of living forever, it's about as old as humanity itself. But now, with artificial intelligence in the picture, that ancient dream is starting to feel a little less like myth and a lot more like a real scientific possibility. So today, let's dive into what the experts and, the internet are saying about our chances. And we're going to start with a question from a transhumanism forum that just gets right to the heart of it all. The question itself sounds pretty simple, right? But oh boy, the answers are anything but. The top voted answer? It's just no. That's it. One word. It perfectly sums up the deep skepticism a lot of people feel. So case closed, right? Well, not so fast. Because you scroll down just a little bit, and then you see this. Somebody chimes in pointing out that, hey, the actual experts in the field seem to be circling around a pretty specific timeline, 2035 to 2045. And they use this term, LEV, which we are definitely going to come back to. And then, of course, you've got this take. This isn't just skepticism. This user is basically saying the whole quest for immortality is not just a waste of time, but a dangerous distraction, a harmful red herring. So we've got a hard no, a maybe in the next 15 years, and an angry never. It's just a total mess of opinions. To actually cut through all this noise, we have to step away from the forums and figure out what is the scientific goal that everyone is even arguing about in the first place. And that brings us to the core concept at the very center of this whole conversation, something called longevity escape velocity, or LEV for short. This is the real target. So what on earth is it? Well, imagine getting to a point where for every single year you manage to stay alive, science and medicine are advancing so fast that they add more than a year back to your life expectancy. Let that sink in. It means you'd literally be outrunning death, at least statistically. Okay, think of it like this. Right now, for every year we live, medical progress might tack on a few extra months to our overall life expectancy. It's a slow crawl. But LEV, that's the tipping point. That's when, for every year that passes, science hands you back that year, and then some. It suddenly becomes this incredible exponential curve upwards. And this is where things get really mind-bending. This famous quote from biogerontologist Aubrey de Grey illustrates the insane potential here. He's saying that once we crack the problem of getting someone to a healthy 150, the technology will be accelerating so quickly that getting to 1,000 is a relatively small next step. The really, really hard part is just achieving that initial liftoff. So you might be asking, okay, this is a cool concept, but why is everyone so fired up about it now? What's driving all this new optimism? Well, the answer is just two letters, AI. Yeah, if you look at the actual research papers being published today, they aren't talking about AI as just another small improvement. They're using words like paradigm shift. AI is fundamentally changing the speed and the scale of how we discover new medicines and manage our health. It's a total game changer. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. This is already happening. Think about it. Our wearable devices, our watches, our rings, they're collecting data on us 24/7. AI algorithms are then sifting through all of that data, looking for patterns, predicting diseases before they ever become a real problem. This allows for truly personalized medicine. The huge takeaway here is that AI is shifting healthcare from being reactive to being proactive. And all this progress is what's fueling some of the biggest names in the field to make some incredibly bold predictions. You've got futurist Ray Kurzweil targeting as early as 2029. Aubrey de Grey gives it a 50-50 shot by the mid-2030s, and George Church, the legendary geneticist from Harvard, is pointing toward 2050. These aren't wild guesses. These are estimates based on the accelerating power of this technology. Okay, but before we all run off and start planning our 200th birthday parties, we have to take a serious reality check. The path from where we are today to living indefinitely, well, it's filled with some absolutely massive hurdles. First, just look at the sheer scale of the problem. The World Health Organization is crystal clear. Nearly 3/4 of all human deaths today come from chronic diseases. We're talking heart disease, cancer, diabetes. This is the massive biological wall that AI is trying to break through. It isn't one single problem to solve, it's thousands of them, all tangled together. And you know, that same research that highlighted AI's incredible promise also lays out all the practical barriers. Getting clean, accurate data is tough. Protecting that data is even tougher. A lot of the time, we don't even fully understand how an AI reaches its conclusions. That's the black box problem.
And that's all before you get to the crazy high costs, doctors who are reluctant to adopt it, and the absolute nightmare of trying to integrate these new tools into hospitals that are already stretched thin.
And this one statistic just drives the point home perfectly. The technology is moving so blindingly fast that our laws just can't keep up. Get this. In Australia, almost 3/4 of the health wearables that people are using right now are operating in a total legal gray area. That makes it almost impossible for doctors to actually use any of that data in a clinical way.
All right, so we've seen the incredible AI-fueled optimism on one side and the sobering real-world challenges on the other. So let's circle all the way back to our original question. Is there any kind of consensus?
This table really sums up the two opposing camps perfectly. You have the optimists, who believe AI is the key that's finally going to unlock the puzzle of aging, and maybe within our lifetimes. Then you have the skeptics. They argue that biology isn't a simple puzzle. It's a chaotic, messy web of systems with a million fail-safes. For them, fixing one problem just creates 10 new ones you never saw coming, making true immortality an impossible dream.
So, after looking at the science, the expert opinions, and all the practical roadblocks, the verdict is in. And that Reddit user from the beginning who just answered with a simple no, turns out they were right on the money. There is absolutely no consensus on when, or even if, humanity will ever reach longevity escape velocity.
Which leaves us with this final, crucial question. Maybe the debate isn't really about living forever. Perhaps the real question we should be asking is whether all this incredible technology will lead to actual immortality or just a much better, healthier, more data-driven way of managing our inevitable mortality. And the answer to that, well, that's still being written.